You're good for a girl. Do you really think you can handle this situation? Just go back to the kitchen and do your job. These are the types of phrases that women have been hearing for decades. Society expects women to be below men because it's thought to be that they're less powerful than them. Although this mentality isn't encouraged in the 21st century, it still exists and negatively affects several women around the world. Gender inequality, a term that is defined as a social process in which people are treated differently and disadvantageously under similar circumstances on the basis of gender, according to the Oxford Dictionary. Now, nowhere in this definition does it indicate the fallacies of gender inequality and the magnitude of the impact that it has on women who are affected by it. Gender inequality has been around for a while. For example, in America, there was this idea of cult of domesticity and Republican motherhood in the early 1900s. Both of these terms just meant that a woman had to work in a household, just do her chores, take care of family, and that's it, while the men go out and do their jobs. Now don't get me wrong, it's important to maintain good relationships with families and be friendly to everyone and caring. But why does the boundary just stop there? Why is there a limit to how much a woman could attain? Now, I'd like to share a small story. Not less than a year ago, word was that different school districts were modifying their dress code so that it's more appropriate for school. I completely agree. A dress code is necessary because it promotes etiquette and discipline, which are absolutely necessary. But the concern is that there are more modifications or changes, restrictions for girls than boys. And if a girl violates the dress code, it's seen as a crime or it's looked down upon rather than if a boy does. I'm just saying, why is there a difference between how a girl is treated versus a guy? I wanted to say something when this happened to friends all around me and the people around me. But I wasn't able to speak up because I thought that I would also be judged the same way. That day, I was a silenced woman. Now, gender inequality is like a social spectrum. There's the subtle incidents, day-to-day things that happen, and there's the severe side. Now, when I'm saying severe, yes, I'm talking about abuse, assault, rape, murder, you name it. Now, look at this picture and tell me what comes to mind, or think about what comes to mind, the first word that comes to mind. Now, when I saw this picture, the first word that came to my mind is injustice. If you had not known, this picture depicts the incident that happened in 2012 in Delhi, India. It involves the medical student, Jyoti Singh, who came home from the movies and traveled on a bus late at night and was gang raped by 6 other people. Now, there are several controversies, problems, that people were talking about it. And the punishment was somewhat fair. Interestingly enough, one of the culprits was actually released late 2015. So, aside from that, there were groups of people who were against her. Like, a majority of people thought that the blame, yes, was on the men. But there was still a good majority who thought that no, it's her fault, just because she's a girl. Now, this is just one of the incidents that happen all around the world. Many incidents that are happening all around the world are often unspoken of. Because if people talk about it and express their opinion and their plight, they're oftentimes judged, threatened, and sometimes even killed. Now, this is just the severe part of the spectrum. Let's make it a little lighter. Let's talk about the day-to-day life. And when I talk about the day-to-day life, yes, I'm talking about the things that happen on a daily basis. And I'm pretty sure when I said day-to-day life, many of you guys might have thought, oh, it's probably careers. Yes, There are several of you out here. I'm pretty sure many are lawyers, doctors, IT professionals, teachers, you name it, any sort of job. And when we think of jobs, we think of salaries. We think about the money. And interestingly enough, there is always a huge difference between the amount of money that a woman gets versus a man. Statistically speaking, women earn only about 60 to 75% of the money that men earn, and this is around the world. Also, does anyone know what percentage of women are CEOs or in high leadership positions? Any guesses? Anyone? Okay, it's okay. Oh.
10%.
Very close. It's 5%.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is the Fortune 500 companies pyramid, and it talks about, it's listed up there, like all the percentage and the women's positions. And 5% is such a small amount compared to the amount of women in this world. The majority of women are in the lowest portion, the labor force. And when I say labor force, I'm not just saying employee or factory worker, but I'm talking about like the undervalued jobs where women are doing strenuous labor, yet they're not paid enough. And they're usually vulnerable, and they don't understand that they're not getting the amount of money that they need to. So there are a certain group of people, leaders, if I might say, who take the initiative and reach out to these people. They reach out to them and try to help them out. One of the leaders who came into my mind when I thought about this was a lady who was the founder of the Lean In movement and author of Lean In. This lady is none other than the COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg had enforced the Lean In movement, a movement in which she reaches out, and other people along with her, reach out to women who are in third world countries or who are just incapable of pursuing whatever they want to. She provides them monetary, educational, emotional, and moral support. She's making a difference by helping them step out of their comfort zone, and she has a place for them to lean in so that they could pursue their passions. There are several organizations in this world, and many campaigns as well. One of the campaigns that is worldwide and is kind of famous right now is the He for She campaign, organized by the UN Women. He for She. The title itself is quite different. It's basically the purpose of the campaign. Men or boys, they go around and they spread awareness about gender inequality and the effects of it. They talk about the cruelties and how it's affecting women and other people all around the world. Now, there are several types of organizations, leaders who try and take initiatives, but all of you here could actually make a difference. It just takes a few changes. So, with society comes expectations. And definitely, there are a lot of expectations, ranging from children all the way to senior citizens. Expectations help us attain our goal, at times. It could be perceived in a wrong way and create narrow mindsets, which causes misconceptions. And one misconception I want to dispel today is that women cannot be efficient leaders. I see a large group of people here, and a lot of you are women, and I'm pretty sure that you all have your work life and your personal life. A lot of you would be doctors, lawyers, IT professionals, any occupation. But you also have a personal life where you have to help out your families, care for them. And you are able to maintain a balance. That's what's really important, maintaining a balance. In fact, that's actually a quality of a leader. Not only that, but scientifically speaking, women are emotionally and mentally stronger and are more adaptive than men are. Then what prevents us? It's just the negative remarks, comments that we hear on a day-to-day basis. If we just shut it down, then we could strive and go to the high-level positions. Now, similarly, there are a lot of people who always might come in your way, might be obstacles. Just try to overcome them. The next time you see a person, don't look at their gender. Don't look at their capacities. Don't prejudge them. Go to them, approach them, get to know them, their talents, aspirations, and goals. And be friendly and see if you could actually make a difference and help them attain them. Because it takes one change in perspective to make a huge difference. Thank you.